strong. Great job by everybody, and yeah, super happy.
Quite simply, wow, what a day. Yes, you saw our highlights of race 2 yesterday. Well, the saying goes that all roads lead to Rome. More specifically here, the Vallelunga circuit, where Kasper Stulga has won the 10th anniversary edition of the world's most competitive junior motor racing series. He is the Italian F.4 champion for 2023. Well, we say buongiorno a tutti, or more specifically, dzień dobry Polski. Kasper Stulga, yes, he is the champion. We've got one race to go here this morning, and again, the pole will start from pole position for the final race of what has been a spectacular 2023 championship season. The cars are coming onto the grid. As you can see, the forecast rain has held off for the moment. In fact, we're not expecting it until later this afternoon, so we will race the final race of 2023 on a dry circuit. We will try and hear from Kasper Stulga, who did win his 8th race of the year yesterday afternoon in dramatic circumstances. He was crowned the champion. It is out of reach now. He joins the likes of Andrea Antonelli, Ollie Behrman, Mini Hauger as former champions. So let's go down and hear from Kasper, who's now speaking with Laura Cola.
Kasper, congratulations again. You are the champion. The pressure is off, but a race to go, looking to finish the year on a high.
Yeah, pressure is off now. We did our job, so yeah, really happy. And yeah, today we race again. Of course, we want to finish on high. I think that yeah, now we go with no pressure, as I said before. So yeah, I think it will be fun, and we try to win.
So have fun.
Kasper Stulga still means business here this morning. He was smiling just about half an hour ago, but the visor goes on. There's nothing left for him to fight for, but he wants to take the victory, and he starts on pole position. A stunning time in qualifying, 1:33.555 around the 4,085 metre Roman circuit, and starts on pole position for this final race of the year alongside Tuukka Tappinen, who again to the right of your screen, there is the Ferrari Junior on the front row of the grid. We'll try and get a word with Freddie Slater if we can, the impressive young rookie, the former World Kart Racing champion, lining up on the 5th row of the grid for the Van Amersfoort Racing team, who have twice won this title. We'll look at the history books in just a moment, including the Van Amersfoort drivers who have won this in the past. Freddie Slater is driving for the Dutch team, and he's down with Laura.
Freddie, a strong drive in 2P5 yesterday. Is a podium possible for you in this final race of the year?
Yeah, for sure. I think the podium is definitely possible. Everything's got to go our way. I think we've got a good pace, get off the line, get a good start, and I'm sure it's the final race of the year, so I'm sure there's going to be some chaos. But yeah, see what we can do and just, yeah, learn from it, and that's the main thing.
Good luck.
Fast Freddie will fight from the 5th row of the grid. His father Adrian at the circuit, his mother Olivia, and his 4 younger siblings watching on from the British Midlands, where I can almost bet, even without looking at the iPhone weather forecast, that it is not as nice as it is here today in Rome. 26 degrees Celsius. There the sun is coming out to shine. There is Kasper Stulga, the newly crowned champion for the German US racing team. Great crowd in attendance here, in stark contrast to, well, let's just say a couple of years ago. Stulga to the bottom left, huge support, and we say once again, in the 3 words of Polish that I do know badly, dzień dobry Polski. Your boy is the champion, and he starts out of pole position in car 37. Tuukka Tappinen out of grid 2, then Ugo Ugachukwu, who is still fighting for the 2nd in the championship, starts out of grid 3 in car 3. Brandl, who has been the quickest driver on the circuit in both races 1 and 2. Then it's the Jamaican sensation Alex Powell, Zachary David, James Wharton, Akshay Bora, and the fight between Prema Racing and US Racing continues right down to the 8th grid position, the 4th row of the grid. Van Amersfoort Racing with Freddie that we just heard from. Arvid Lindblad has slipped back to 3rd in the championship. Matteo Quintarelli, James Agozzi, good qualifying performance from Matteo out of 11. Nicola Lacorte, Jack Beach, and flying is the Queenslander this weekend, as is the Israeli Ariel Elkan, Rashid Al Dahedi, the Emirati out of 16. Then we go to Gianmarco Pradel, Matthias Ferreira, Rafael Narak, Alfio Spina, Il Siciliano for BVM Racing out of grid 20. Davide Lerini, Aurelia Nobels, Kabir Anurag, who was caught up in that first lap accident in race 2 yesterday. Ricky Liu, one of 2 Chinese drivers on the grid for US Racing. Car 66 out of grid 24. The fight for the women's trophy involves Tina Hausmann, who starts out at grid 25 alongside Finn Wavelhouse, the rookie. Another rookie, Shimo Zhang, Giacomo Pedrini for PHM Racing. Kamal Murad and Victoria Blockina. She's also fighting for the women's trophy together with Tina Hausmann. Tom Callender, Guido Lucchetti also in the gravel in turn 1 in that 8-car accident. Diego De La Torre, the Mexican, and Ethan Isher in 27 for Jensen Motorsport on grid 34. What a tremendous sight this is. The final race, the final round of the 10th anniversary season of the Italian Formula 4 Championship, brought to you by WSK Promotion, together with the Automobile Club of Italy here at their home circuit, ACI Sport, with offices based here at the Long Valley Circuit, north of what was once Caput Mundi, or quite simply known as the city at the centre of what was once the known universe. Yes, the Roman Empire. Just a few minutes away from the start, just looking at the history books, Kasper Stuka, the 2023 champion. Antonelli winning the title last year. Andrea in contention also, racing up in Zandvoort in the penultimate round of the Formula Regional European Championship. Andrea taking the title at Mugello last year. It looks as though we've got Kabir Anurag, maybe Pradel or Narak who have stalled. That's why the yellow flag is flying. Might be Pradel to the left of your screen. Gianmarco on the 9th row of the grid. No, we'll go to the other side. So the 30-second board goes up. This is the formation lap. I'll get to the former winners of this championship in just a moment. The formation lap, the yellow flag is flying. It looks as though we've got 2 stalled cars. No problem for Kasper, who leads the field away with the exception of, we'll try and make this out for you, Arvid Lindblad has also gone nowhere. Rashid Al-Bahedi might be the driver in trouble as well. We'll pick up that for you in a moment. Kasper Stuka leads the field down on a beautiful autumnal morning. It's Matthias Ferreira again. He was in trouble yesterday. Had to start race 2 from pit lane. And the South American goes nowhere on the grid. It's Ferreira in trouble. So Rashid, no problem for the Emirati. Kasper Stuka, yes, the newly crowned champion. As you look at the weather to the right of your screen, 23 degrees at the moment. A top of 26 or 27 later on today. Matthias Ferreira, what a disappointing end for a tough season for the boy from Brazil, who looks to be out before the start. Stuka, the 23 champion, Antonelli, just getting back to the Formula Regional Championship, racing in Zandvoort this morning. Andrea in contention for that title. He's the reigning F4 champion. Ollie Behrman, who tested for Ferrari at the Fiorano circuit just a few days ago. This is Brando Badoia. Gabriele Mini, the 2020 champion. Dennis Hauger, the Norwegian for Van Amersfoort Racing. Enzo in 2018. Marcus, the IndyCar Rookie of the Year. Armstrong winning the 2017 title. Marcus Sieber, the Argentine for Jensen Motorsport in 2016. Ralph Aron in 2015, and Lance Stroll, the current Aston Martin Formula 1 driver, the Canadian, winning the inaugural title 1 decade ago. There is Lindblad, has got underway, fighting for second in the championship. Prema have also wrapped up the team's championship. Arvid Lindblad is the Rookie of the Year. The one title to be decided is the women's trophy. Aurelia Nobels cannot win it. She's third, ahead of Bianca Bustamante. Whoever finishes ahead in the race, quite simply between Tina Hausmann for AKM Motorsport in car 21 and Victoria Blockina, car 78 for PHM Racing, whichever of those 2 girls finishes ahead in the race will be crowned the women's champion for 2023. There is the pole sitter. There is the champion, crowned 12 hours ago. Kasper Stuka, the all-and-back driver A big day for Poland in more ways than one. Great to have your company if you are watching on live from Kasper's home country. Also going to the polls today, we'll disregard that, Kasper Stuka. He is the champion, with all due respect. You have a new champion. We'll see if he can finish the year on a high. Tuukka Tappinen to the right of the grid. And we know how quick Ugo is. Car 3 out of grid 3 on the second row. Ferreira out before the start. We wait for Diego Della Torre, Ethan Isha to slot into position on grids 33 and 34. Welcome to the capital of the Roman Empire, the Long Valley Circuit, which is Vallelunga. The 5 red lights for the final time in 2023. We race. Good start by Tappinen. We've got 2 drivers who have stalled further back in the back. It looks as though it was Aldeheri as Stuka leads the field down the hill ahead of the Prema duo. And a clean start for the final race of 2023. There's Tina Hausmann around the outside. Good start also from Alfio Spinner in the background. Locking up. Goes Zach David as they go down through Chimney 1, Chimney 2 for the first time. Kasper Stuka, the reigning newly crowned champion now in position 1. There is Ugo, pulls out Brando in car 15 for Van Amersfoort Racing as they come up to Campagnano for the first time. Ugo, the American, around the outside of the pole. Carnage in the background. One of the R-Race GP cars has gone off undamaged. It's Matteo Quintarelli. Sorry, it looks to be Narak. It was Rafael Narak who will be able to rejoin. No damage to the Frenchman's car. He will rejoin, but way down in 33rd position. Pradell also stalling off the line, as was Aldeheri. Watch for James Wharton on the charge, the Australian up into P5. There's Badoya. Kasper with the lead as they come out of the slowest corner on the circuit, on the championship calendar. Tornantino through the S's up towards the Roma curve for the first time. There's Lindblad on the outside, fighting with Alex Powell. James Agozzi in there as well. Move up the inside from Zach David, who's made a great start. It is his teammate who leads across the line for the first time. Ugachuko has pulled away from Tappinen. Wharton now up into 4. James is flying. Brando 5. We go to Zach David, Freddie Slater, Bora Powell, Lindblad, Agozzi, Jack Beaton, Lacorte, Spinner up into 14th ahead of Quintarelli, Elkin, Ricky Lou, and Davide Larini. Move down the inside from Brando Badoer, fighting with Zach David. There is the Jamaican going through in car 80. Kasper Stuka defends into Campagnano. That is Tuukka Tappinen. The Ferrari Juniors 3rd and 4. David around the outside, tries the high line. There's Victoria Blochina in the pits. Victoria fighting for the women's trophy. Damage on the first lap of the race, as we see Zach David lock up right behind Brando Badoer. Victoria Blochina has just left pit lane now. That almost certainly hands the women's trophy to Tina Hausmann if she can finish the race. Victoria Blochina is down in 33rd position. Pradell and Aldeheri have got underway, but they're way down the bottom of the field as Kasper Stuka leads them out of Tornantino for the second time. Zach David, Freddie Slater's in that battle. That's Alex Powell going through just ahead of Arvid Lindblad, the Mercedes AMG Junior, ahead of the Red Bull Junior. Then we go to Alfio Spinner, the BBM racing driver. Il Siciliano is absolutely flying. He's on the edge of the top 10 after starting way back on the 10th row of the grid. Spinner from 20th up into 12th after 2 laps. Here's James Agozzi with Alex Powell right behind him. Alex is looking good. And the 2 American-born drivers, both from the free state of Florida. That's James on the inside and the Jamaican on the outside, Arvid. 3rd in the championship, 11th in the race. His closest contender for title of vice champion is Ugo in car 3 in position 2. And it's Tappinen, Wharton, Brando Badoer, Freddie Slater, the Van Amersfoort Racing duo. There is James on the inside, Alex on the outside, Agozzi. Gives racing room to Alex Powell. Now he covers him off, goes in deep. James Agozzi himself trying to get by Akshay Bora. And there is Lindblad now on the outside of the kid from the Caribbean, trying to get into the points. Agozzi pulls clear. There is the Jamaican, car 80 spinner. A launching start from the Sicilian. The sole entry for BVM Racing. No room on the inside, no problem for the Southern Italian. Tries the outside. Alfio spinner, sensational. What a pass. Il Siciliano makes the move on the Jamaican sensation. Deja vu. WSK world karting from the last past half decade. Spinner and Powell, we've seen them race in OK and OK Junior in the WSK Supermaster Series, the WSK Euro Series. And Spinner now takes the kid from the Caribbean from grid 20. The Sicilian now into P11. Brando, we know how quick he is. Fastest lap in races 1 and 2 yesterday. Badoer up into P5. Nothing left on the table here in the final race of the weekend, the final race of 2023. Kasper Stuka still has got the lead, and he is still being pressured by the American Ugo Ugachugul. There's Badoer, there's Fast Freddy, with Zach on the back of the Englishman. David from Bora, Agozzi, Lindblad, and Alfio in P11. There's the yellow and white BVM racing car, car 9. Slater defends, gets the drive. James Wharton up into position 4. This happened just a few moments ago. Ricky Liu going around not once but twice, and he was helped. Rejoins. Contact, we believe, with either Tom Callender, the rookie, or Giacomo Petrini. So it's a date first race yesterday. An incident-packed second race yesterday with a red flag introduction, and now with nothing left on the table, no tyres left in the pits. Everyone with everything to fight for, and Kasper Stuka wants to end the year on a high. As Tuukka Tappinen, race winner in 2023 as well, in P3, and then Wharton. Kasper with a 34.551, qualifying times from the pole. Brando in car 15 for Van Amersfoort Racing. Fastest lap a few moments ago. There's his teammate just behind. This is James. His penultimate ever Formula 4 race, of course, the final round of the Euro 4 Championship next week. Barcelona, Catalonia in Spain, the all-new Euro 4 Series. As we see Spinner on the inside of Jack Beaton, the Queenslander with Ariel Elkin behind. The rest of the field going on through. Finn Fabelhaus, Zhang, Nobels. And this is Tina Hausmann. She's down in position 26, but Victoria Blokina, after pitting for a punctured left rear, Kabir Anurag, fighting with Tom Callender. Victoria down in position 33. Tina Hausmann, if she just finishes where she is, as she sits in behind Ricky Liu, who did superbly well to rejoin, Tina Hausmann will claim the women's trophy for 2023. The AKM Motorsport driver who will be back in 2024. Victoria still circulating. Tina fighting with Ricky and Tom. It is Kasper in P1. As we approach 1/3 race distance, the gap is out to 1 second dead, 1.4 between Ugo and Tuukka. Back to James. Brando, Freddie Slater. Here is the Englishman. Stuka again goes slightly faster. .096 as they go up. That's the difference into Campagnano down through the gearbox. The two Ferrari juniors on your screen. That's Tuukka Tappinen, James Wharton, Brando Badoer, Freddie Slater, struggling to make inroads on the Prema trio, who run second, third and fourth. Dive down the inside, fires it up. Does Zach David. Freddie on the outside, does not lift, and he'll have the inside going into the next corner. Zach David, he tried it, but Freddie defended. Alfio Spinner, after that storming start, it was he who helped Rafael Nadal off the circuit on the opening lap of the race, and you just saw the graphic on your screen. That storming start from the Sicilian will come to naught because he cops a drive-through penalty. He's fallen to 13th position. He's about to fall back to dead last. Bad luck for Alfio Spinner, who was on the podium outright. Second place in the final race of the first round of this championship back at Imola. Nice racing between Zach David and Freddie Slater. There's Akshay Bora, the American in P8, James Agozzi, another American just behind. So 3 drivers from the United States inside the top 10. Ugo second and second in the championship. Bora in 8 and Agozzi in position 9. There's James, the green halo on the PHM racing car. Just reminding us that he won the WSK Supermaster Series for the Tony Kart racing team at the Cremona circuit to start 2023. Powell back to 10. Then it's Lindblad, P11 for the driver from the Kings England, who dominated the first half outright of the championship. Zach on the attack, and he fires it down the inside, but goes in deep. And Slater simply says, thanks, mate, and takes the position back. Nice racing between Slater and David, the Englishman and the Filipino, fighting for P6. There's Bora just behind. Akshay, who's been on the podium multiple times as well in 2023. Akshay in car 31. Fires it down the inside. This was a nice pass on the absolute ragged edge. Corrected it under brakes. Did well to keep it off the ripple strips on the outside of the circuit. Went in too deep. Got out of the throttle. And Slater took back position 6 in car 77. The gap 1.5 seconds between Casper and Ugo. Alfio Spinner goes through the pits, a drive-through penalty for the Sicilian. And this is the reason why. Look at the yellow and white car into the back of Rafael Nadal, and the Frenchman turned around, would not have known what happened there. Was just helped off the circuit by the Sicilian, who exits pit lane now. Nadal did superbly well to keep it out of the gravel. He is still circulating, but way down in 31st position. Tina Hausmann down in 26. She didn't make a good start, but it's better critically than Victoria Blochina, who had to pit a few moments ago. So as it stands, Tina Hausmann will take, or would take, the women's trophy, hypothetically, as we close in on half race distance. The final race of 2023, James Wharton, car 13, the Ferrari Junior, who won the season opening, or the year opening, United Arab Emirates Formula 4 Championship. His penultimate F4 race, the all-road management driver, as you can see. Overseen by Nicholas, who's got a stable of world-class racing drivers, including, well, a fair selection of drivers on the current Formula 1 grid. Speaking of which, 4 drivers from this championship have graduated to Formula 1. Lance Stroll, the inaugural champion. Mick Schumacher, who raced Marcus Siebert to the line in 2016. Lando Norris, who raced in this championship back in 2015. And Zhou Guanyu, now racing with Alfa Romeo Sauber. 4 drivers who have graduated to Formula 1, a host of others racing in Formula 2, Formula 3, and also we can include Formula 1 test drivers, Friday reserve drivers, as Ugo peels the tear off the familiar silver bell helmet of the driver from New York. In second place, the gap is out to 1.7 seconds though. Felipe Drugovic also racing with us a few seasons ago. Frederick Vesti, who will make his free practice 1 debut in the forthcoming Mexican Formula 1 Grand Prix for the AMG Mercedes team. Frederick racing in the Italian Championship a couple of seasons ago, well, a few seasons ago, for the Van Amersfoort racing team, before going on to win the inaugural Formula Regional European Championship, which was also launched and presented by WSK Promotion. Down through the S's, Kasper Stuka Ugo, car 3, second place and second in the championship. There's Tuga sideways through the S's. Pulls away slightly from James, the first 4. Then back to the duo for the Dutch team. Banamas for Racing, Brando Badoer and fast Freddie Slater. .9 seconds now from Casper back to Ugo. A 34.271. Fastest lap of the race, 134.2. For Casper Stuka, the all-and-back driver from Poland. National elections taking place today in Casper's home country. And it's not for any of us to have an opinion on that unless we are from Poland, which Casper is. But regardless of which way they go, we wish them well. They do have a champion in Casper Stuka. You can see the US racing team already putting the #1 decals on the car overnight. Winning the race yesterday by 5.3 seconds. Ugo Ugochukwu second in the race here and will take second in the championship, you would think, because Lindblad has fallen back to P12. Behind Jack Beaton and Alex Powell inside the top 10 now. Penultimate race in Formula 4 also for the McLaren Junior Ugo Ugochukwu. Remember, he won race 1 right here in Rome yesterday. Off the circuit goes Giacomo Pedrini. Rejoins in car 53 for PHM Racing. Giacomo, son of Andrea Pedrini. Another, just about all of them are, former WSK kart racer. His father, Andrea, competitor in the Porsche Carrera Cup. Pedrini rejoins the circuit, loses the place to Pradel Houseman and Diego Della Torre as the gap goes out to 2.2 seconds between Casper Stuka, the newly crowned fresh champion overnight, and Ugo Ugochukwu. Oh, wow. Pedrini into the side of Pradel it was. Tina Houseman goes through. Testament to the Tata's T421 car. Was able to rejoin, may have suspension damage. But for the moment, Giacomo Pedrini going wheel to wheel with Gianmarco Pradel, who's down in position 25. One of 4 Australians in the field. He was on the podium, 3rd outright for Gianmarco at Mugello in the penultimate round of the championship, as we look at Brando close in on the back of the top Australian, that's James Wharton. Pradel, though, struggling here in P24 it is now. Pedrini still circulating. It looks as though, thankfully for the Italian, his car is fine. To Katapanen, former World Kart Racing champion. Still in position 3. Brando was on the podium yesterday in position 3, and he'd love to finish this year, or this championship, with another podium. Won't take the win, you would think, as we move into the second half of this race. 12 minutes, 30 seconds plus 1 lap remaining here north of the Italian capital. This is the Long Valley Circuit, Vallelunga. 4,085 meters, 1 lap of this historic circuit, which was built back in the 1950s. Big move down the inside. Ricky Lou takes Aurelio Nobels. There's Rashid just on the inside as well, trying to capitalize with the rookie Tom Callender. Can the Emirati take the German? Tom holds off the former WSK Supermaster Series champion, who's having a tough run here this weekend in a different chassis. That's the only reason why. Rashid Al-Daheri, who's consistently been the top 6, top 10 at least for most of the championship, but now he's way down the field. Aurelio Nobels in position 21, cannot take the women's trophy, even though she is leading the battle between the 3 women drivers here this morning. She's 4 places ahead of Tina Houseman and Victoria Blockin after that early pit stop. She's praying for a safety car at least to drag her back into the battle, but for the moment, it's been a clean final race for the final round, the final race of the Italian Championship. Close up of Brando. Casper crosses the line. Now the gap is 2.5 seconds. 2.1 seconds between Tappanen and Ugochukwu. Zachary David still in position 7. Did briefly move by the Englishman in car 77, Freddie Slater. Went too deep under brakes as James Wharton locks up the front right as it gets light down through Chimney 1. Gives hopes to Brando. Tappanen still in position 3. 10 minutes remaining in the 2023 championship as the sun comes out to shine here at Vallelunga. Freddie Slater checks the mirrors and closes the door on Zach David. You saw the Englishman stare right as Zach gets sideways on the exit. The tyres nearing the end of their life at the end of the championship here. And Slater, the former World Kart Racing champion, his former mechanic and mentor, Scott Chaney, with the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team, arriving at the circuit here this weekend to oversee Freddie and 1 or 2 others as well. Scott, mate, you've taught him well. That was great defensive driving from Freddie Slater. Holds off the Filipino driver for the moment. Zach David in P7. Brando Badoer last time round at 34.96. Wharton at 34.97. Just 1,000th of a second between the Italian and the Australian. Brando, the top Italian in the Italian Championship, this final race. Giacomo Petrini in the wars earlier. Alfio Spinner with that drive-through penalty. He's dropped way down to 30th place. Guido Lucchetti's having a good run, the 4th Italian. Davide Ladini, sorry, that's the 3rd time I've done that. The Tuscan driver in car 5 in P16, and Quintarelli, the Emirati-based Italian, in P14, car 93 for R-Race GP. So 6 or 7 Italian drivers in the field. Quite a few with Italian heritage as well, including James, if we go back far enough. For the moment, the Australian in position 4, losing touch with Tuka Tappanen and being caught by Brando Badoer, the fight for P4. Brando with the fastest car in races 1 and 2 yesterday, for much of it at least, has now caught up to the back of car 13. Into Tornantino. Has a big look down the inside, too far back for Brando, thinks better of it. Slater, David, Bora, Agozzi, and the Jamaican Alex Powell in P10. .513 seconds last time between Casper Stuka and Ugochukwu, down to 2.4. Nothing really in it. Ugochukwu will take the title of vice champion after finishing 3rd in the British F4 Series in 2022. His penultimate Formula 4 race as well. Many of these, or most of these drivers, will be racing in Barcelona next week. In the European Championship, the Euro Series, the Euro 4 Championship. 3 rounds for 2023, the inaugural edition. 4 rounds in 2024. Into Campagnano. Brando again, too far back to attack. On the back of James Wharton. A step off the podium with just under 7 minutes and 1 lap remaining in another, thankfully, sedate race. We say that after the carnage we had earlier on in the series, particularly at Imola and at Spa in Belgium. Next year, the international rounds, we go to La Castellet and we go to Barcelona in the Italian Championship. The 11th edition, the 2024 calendar has been published. We kick off at the MotoGP circuit of Misano on the Adriatic coast before going to Imola, then back here to Vallelunga in June, and then we go to Mugello, the magnificent Paul Ricard circuit in the south of France. That's round 5 on the 21st of July next year. Barcelona, the Spanish circuit on the Italian calendar for the first time. And the series concludes on the last weekend of October, the 27th in 2024. 11 circuits have been raced, have been used in the 10-year history of the Italian F4 Championship. Adria, Imola, Mugello, We did race at Magione way back in 2014 when Lance took the title. Vallelunga, of course, Monza, Misano, Paul Ricard, Budapest, which is on the Euro 4 Championship calendar next year. The Red Bull Ring and Spa, and of course with the addition of Barcelona next year, 12 different circuits in the 11-year history of this, the most competitive junior motor racing series in the world, the Italian F.4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion together with ACI Sport. We say it's the most competitive, but Casper is making it look easy. Heading for his 9th victory, the newly crowned champion, you would think. Just over 5 minutes plus 1 lap remaining here Sunday morning, the 15th day of October, north of the Italian capital at the Vallelunga circuit. Brundle again trying to fight and get his way by James Wharton. Lap 17, the gap stays at 2.4 seconds. Kasper Stuka winning the Formula Winter Series down on the Iberian Peninsula to start 2023. 6 race wins in a row coming into this, the championship final. Ugo in the background, P2 and P2 in the championship in car 3. Identical speeds through the speed trap at this mid-speed circuit, the Roman circuit, built back in the 1950s, hosting the Roman Grand Prix up until the early 1990s, when it was still raced for the spectacular Formula 3000 series, as it was back in the day, where Brando's father raced and won in 1992 for the Krypton engineering team in the Reynard 92D. I've already told you about that, the most beautiful racing car ever manufactured 30 years ago. Ugo, the McLaren Junior, race 1 winner yesterday in P2. Emanuele Pirro, the 5-time Le Mans winner, former Grand Prix driver as well, and now overseeing the McLaren Junior Academy program here at the circuit to see Ugo take victory in race 1 and most likely 2nd place here and 2nd place in the 2023 championship. Goes very wide, under control. They go down through Curvone. The gap now out to 2.8 seconds. Victoria Blochina will come into view in a moment after that pit stop. She's about to be shown the blue flag. She is still circulating, but will go a lap down and almost virtually hand the women's trophy to Tina Hausmann for AKM Motorsport. There is Luca that we just spoke about, the 1992 Formula 3000 champion. Raced here in Formula 3 back in 1991. Somewhat frustrated because his boy cannot get by James Wharton. Meanwhile, this battle between David and Slater continues on. Slater is just staring at the mirrors. And now he closes off. Knows that Zach will try and fire it down the inside. Checks the right side mirror before he turns in. As cool as you'd like for this talented young Englishman. Super talented, we should say. Former World Kart Racing champion, WSK Supermaster Series champion in KZ2 as well. So much success with Ricky Flynn Motorsport. And the European champion in the KZ2 gearbox category with the Birla team as well. 2nd Italian Formula 4 race. And defending from not one, but 2 US racing drivers in the form of Zach David and Akshay Bora. Agozzi in the background. Black and white flag for Freddie, the sportsmanship flag. I don't think he'll mind that at all. Just blocking the 2 US racing drivers. He's ahead, and to a degree, he can put the car where he wants, defending for his life on what we believe is the penultimate lap of the final round, the final race of the 2023 championship. Stuka is gone 3.1 seconds down the road on his way to his 9th victory of 2023. David goes slightly wide. Slater gets the run. There's a Gozzi in the background. And the Jamaican Alex Powell still inside the top 10. Slater into Campagnano. Goes deep under brakes. The US racing duo. Zach David, Akshay Bora. Now being caught by the third American inside the top 10. James Agozzi. Zach locks up, fires it down the inside. Almost runs into the back of the Englishman, who's defending superbly. Now Bora has a look at his teammate on the penultimate lap of the race. Slater skips away ever so slightly. So the battle is no longer between David and Slater, it's between Bora, David, Agozzi, and also the kid from the Caribbean, the Mercedes AMG Junior, Alex Powell, who's been caught himself by the Queenslander Jack Beaton. Strong run for Jack Beaton, was so disappointed yesterday to end up in the gravel after moving up into P5 on the start. 34.194, if you don't mind, from Kasper Stuka as he starts his final lap of the championship. Yes, Jack Beaton up into P5 after qualifying 7th in this 34-car field, and now has one lap to get inside the points as Kasper Stuka. It was Victoria Blockiner going through. Kasper Stuka on his final, it's virtually a victory lap. It will be his 9th victory of the season. Emotional scenes yesterday down in Parc Fermé. He is the champion. The number one has gone on the car. The US racing team joined Prema Power Team, as it was. Van Amersfoort Racing and Gensa Motorsport as just one of 4 drivers, or 4 teams to have won the driver's title. The first driver from Poland, Kasper Stuka, comes into the slowest corner on the calendar for the final time. He accelerates. What a year! Kasper Stuka, still not affiliated with any F1 team. Come on, pick up the phone, boys. This kid is a superstar. He comes into the Roma curve for the final time. What a drive, what a race, what a season, what a year. Kasper Stuka, the newly crowned champion, dominates the final race of 2023, and he takes the checkered flag for the 9th time this season. Slater has been passed on the last lap of the race. Ugo finishes 2nd, Tuka 3rd. Then it's James Wharton, Baguea. Zach makes the attack and gets Slater on the last lap of the race. Bora fires it down to the inside of the Englishman. And James Agozzi almost tries to capitalise. He was hit ever so lightly by Alex Powell, who had nowhere to go as well. Jack Beaton just misses the points in P11. Tina Hausman has crossed the line in position 25, but critically finishes ahead of Victoria Blockiner. Tina Hausman is the women's trophy champion for AKM Motorsport, the girl from Zurich in Switzerland for 2023. Kasper Stuka wins, dominates the final race of the year. The 10th champion of this, the world's most competitive junior motor racing series, is Kasper Stuka from Poland. The German US racing team had taken the driver's title, and Kasper finishes the season in style. Wins it by 3.7 seconds. US racing will be back in 2024. Kasper obviously won't defend the title. He'll move on to, well, stay tuned. I'd love to tell you, but I'm sure if you keep an eye on the likes of, well, Race Diary on Instagram, maybe Formula One Feeder Series, Formula Scout, they'll tell you exactly where the newly crowned Italian champion will race in 2024. He finishes the final race of 2023 with his 9th victory of the year. Ugo 2nd, Tuka 3rd, ahead of James Wharton. Brando, Zach and Akshay go through on Slater, who finishes 8th. James Agozzi and the kid from the Caribbean, the Jamaican Alex Powell, his 2nd car racing weekend inside the 10, just edges out the Queenslander Jack Beaton, Lacorte, Quintarelli, Arvid Lindblad, Elkin, Larini, Wabelhaus, Zhang, Isha, Ricky Lou, Rashid El Dahedi ahead of Gianmarco Pradell, who had a tough weekend. The rookie, Tom Callender. Aurelia Nobels was the first women driver home, but Tina Hausmann finishing a place behind her, critically ahead of Victoria Blochina. Tina Hausmann is the women's champion for 2023. In the end, Kasper Stuka takes the title, 315 points to 280, so 5 points was the difference. Ugo Chukwu is the vice champion of 2023, and Arvid Lindblad third in the 2023 Italian Championship, ahead of James Wharton and Tuukka Tappinen. Kasper into pit lane, into Parc Ferme again for the 9th time in P1. Tina Hausmann has won the women's trophy. The new American-style podium built here at Vallelunga. Victory lane for the pole. The driver's champion wins it in style. What a day for Poland in more ways than one. Kasper Stuka wins for the 9th time in 2023.
E sulle mani per la banda di Campagnano e il corpo di ballo. La banda di Campagnano che festeggia i suoi 40 anni, quindi forza, fatevi sentire, pubblico di Vallelunga.
We'll try and get a word with the newly crowned champion in just a moment. Laura Kola is down in Parc Ferme. 3rd place for Tuukka Tappinen in his final race of the season. 2nd for Ugo Chukwu, and 2nd in the championship for the American in car 3. Has had a great season. 9th victory of the season for the newly crowned champion, Kasper Stuka, who's down with Laura Kola.
So no better way to end the championship to reconfirm your well-deserved title.
Yeah, it was another great race. I mean, the pace was really good. Just a little bit of fight in the start, then kept the lead. No safety car, luckily. Then yeah, just controlling the pace, and yeah, finished in style, I guess.
Ready for the last in Barcelona?
Sorry?
Ready for the last Europe?
Oh yeah, the last one. Let's go.
The highlights of the final race of 2023 saw the pole start on pole. He disappeared off the line and let the 34-car field down into turn 1, which was already minus Mateus Ferreira. Rafael Nadak helped onto the side of the circuit by the Sicilian Alfio spinner, who stormed up from grid 20 to be in 11th place, but ultimately a drive-through penalty would cost the Italian. Arvid Lindblad defending from the Jamaican in the Sicilian. Jack Beaton on the charge as well was the Queenslander. Ultimately, you can see the damage on the front nose cone of Spinner's car as Ricky Lou was turned around, did rejoin without any damage to the 66 racing car. Spinner with a drive-through penalty, ultimately dropping him way down the order. Out front, Stuka simply pulled away. A fabulous fight between Zach David and Freddie Slater. They went wheel to wheel for the entire race, decided in the favour of the Filipino on the very last lap. Giacomo Petrini and Gianmarco Pradell coming together. It cost the Tuscan driver in the 53 PHM car. He did finish. This was a good move by Ricky Lou, taking the Brazilian-Belgian Aurelia Nobels, but out front, Kasper Stuka dominant as he takes his 9th victory fittingly in the 10th anniversary season of the Italian F.4 Championship. He is the champion. The crowd here enjoying that as the Italian GT3 Championship prepares to race for their final round. Great to have the legendary Mr. Giancarlo Minardi present the third place trophy to Tuco, second for Ugo again, and Casper P1 for the 9th time and final time in 2023. US Racing take the Drivers' Championship. So that's the ball game, folks. The 10th anniversary season has seen 50 drivers from around the world, and at the end of a thrilling championship, Kasper Stulka from Poland has taken the Drivers' Championship, and US Racing have taken the Drivers' title. He wins the 9th race of the season here at the centre of the Italian capital. Thanks for watching the Italian Championship. We'll see you in 2024 for the Italian F4 Championship.